Welcome back for the first episode of Made in Arizona month. And
Ow!
this week, shoot 'em, blast 'em, nab 'em, grab 'em, shake 'em, bake 'em, cook 'em, clean 'em, close 'em, broil 'em, kick 'em, nab 'em, twist 'em. All gone. Bye-bye, bro.
Bye-bye.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I am the greatest!
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst people. So Shaggy's gone now.
That was Shaggy, the dog.
Bop it, pull it, skip it, jump it.
That was so
Go
hard to
up.
try. That was so hard to try to read.
It's probably because he didn't read it. He fucking just did that on the spot. Just like when he starts yelling, "I'm the greatest." That's why they made this movie, because he was sitting somewhere yelling that, like, film this, write a movie around it.
Yeah,
They let him cage out, and I love when Cage gets to cage.
It's
yeah.
kind of some early caging, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we already had Vampires Kiss, and
First of all, what is
a
this
few
and what
other
year is
things.
it?
Oh wait, maybe we didn't have Vampire. Yeah, we did. Anyway, this is Firebirds from 1990, starring one Nicolas Cage and one Tommy Lee Jones and one Sean Young. Yeah, and directed by the director everybody knows, David Green, who directed the movie Buster, starring Phil Collins.
Oh, that classic that no one knows about. No
I
wonder
mean, that's
Phil
about it.
Collins crapping around this movie.
He directed a bunch of BBC shit, and the last thing he directed, he's still alive, but the last thing he directed was 2003 BAFTA Awards. So,
Poor feller.
I don't know what
How
he's
the
doing.
mighty have
but
fallen.
how someone has fallen
How the
Someone stubbed their
mediocre
toe.
have fallen.
at a wonderful 85 minutes, by the way,
Yes.
Felt
Nice
so
and tight.
breezy.
in and out. And
Because I'll be honest, the movie kind of starts a little slow. Like, I mean, I know there's like action right away, but like just then we start to get this training thing, which is fine. And it's Cage right off the bat is boring. You know,
Yeah.
Like, I know he's trying to do this somber, I just watched somebody die thing, but it's coming off like, if I could put my hat in the ring, I really would like to go kill him. I'm a killing machine, and I'm willing to kill. So let's go.
yeah,
And
exactly.
But then he gets uncaged, as we love.
Yeah, because at the very beginning, so I've saw this movie once when we were drinking at my house doing Barley Fest. It's one of the many movies I put on in the background. So that's the
You didn't
most
really-
I've seen.
So you kind of watched it twice.
Yeah, I mean,
With
I
that
saw
double vision.
I saw the simulator stuff, and I was like, man, this movie is all simulator stuff. And then we
All-
watched it, and I'm like, oh, no, but not nearly as much as I thought. So-
Yeah.
But yeah, it starts out, and he's got that like you said, and I was like, well, this is going to be a shit performance. He doesn't give a fuck about this movie.
Yeah, because I have seen this, by the way, but it was probably around 1990. My dad's a military guy that will watch anything that comes out that's got military. So especially we were coming off of Top Gun success. I almost guarantee my pops watched this. We rented it and watched it.
When the opening credits came on, I felt like I had seen this with my parents at some point, too.
Ooh, speaking of opening credits, how beautiful were those sunset letters?
Yeah.
Did you notice it? Like
I
was just
loved
like,
it.
I want that font. Ooh, maybe I'll hit up Zip, and that's my lettering for my tattoo.
There you go.
But before we get too far, let me tell people where they can watch this if they'd like. So this one keeps coming up recently, but it's on Hoopla, so you can watch it for free there. You can rent it on Amazon for $3.59 or Apple for $3.99, or you can buy it on either one for about $13.
Now, do you have some fucking Shout Factory beautiful 4K thing to talk about? I know you do.
No, I don't. I just watched this on the internet.
Oh, I thought you had owned this. That's crazy.
No, I own a bunch of Cage movies, not surprisingly, but not this one.
Okay, we'll fix that.
I mean, and you mentioned Top Gun, so right out of the gate, we'll get it out of the way. This is Top Gun with helicopters.
I'm sorry, helicopters.
Helicopters.
It's his twist gun.
I mean, in the IMDb trivia, which is mostly stupid and useless, one of the things was like, this is trivia. This is known amongst critics as Top Gun with helicopters. I'm like, well, it's not trivia. I watched the fucking movie. I know what it is.
Yeah, that's dumb trivia. We don't like that.
But we are discussing this because it was filmed not primarily in, but all in Arizona, mostly in Tucson.
Yeah.
Arizona rules. Yeah, no, you could definitely tell. I recognize some of these areas.
Yeah, we've got the foothills up there, Hacienda del Sol. We've got Amphi High School, which I'll tell you guys about. We've got Pima Community College West,
which is because I asked, I was like, well, is this supposed to be like Davis-Monthan? And he's like, no, it's a fake. It's a fake
base because they're Army, not Air Force, and we don't have an Army base in Tucson. So they made a base out of Pima Community College campus.
It's actually more dangerous when it's just the campus.
But so this is written by a bunch of people.
Always a good sign, by the way.
Well, so we have 3 people credited for the story and then 2 credited for the screenplay. So 2 of the people credited for the story, Stepp Tyner and John K. Swenson. This is their only credit.
Okay.
And presumably they are friends or like squad mates or whatever with the other guy who is Dale Dye, who actually plays whatever guy that's in charge, McHale.
McHale's Army.
Oh yeah, the dude, the fucking mustachio gentleman that has made a career
McNeil.
out of being a military guy.
He has one other writing credit besides this, and obviously he wrote it, Army. He's obviously retired military.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a Marine because his only other writing credit is additional dialogue in a movie called Operation Rainfall, where he's credited as Dale Dye, USMC. So, so they hired him to make the people in that movie, which looks awful, by the way. Just from the poster, they hired this guy to make that sound like they were actually in the military and not just probably a bunch of Canadian actors.
Okay.
This guy was in a bunch of shit, and it's almost all as a military person. I mean, he's in Platoon, Born on the 4th of July, JFK, Guarding Tess, and then the actual screenplay was written by 2 guys, one named Nick Thiel, who wrote on some episodes of Burn Notice, White Collar, Elementary, so he does like TV.
We are talking some USA garbage that I love.
And then a guy named Paul F. Edwards, who wrote
Edwards.
Some episodes of the show V, some episodes of Baywatch Nights, which I was just telling both of my co-hosts about. That'll probably be at least sporadic episodes of Latchkey Vids in the future.
Yeah, please.
Because for those who don't know, Baywatch Nights is not just like sexy Baywatch or Baywatch where they're guarding the ocean when the sun's down.
I think it's like Baywatch meets silk stockings on USA Nights.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
No, it is.
USA.
It's more like Baywatch meets Supernatural.
That blows my mind.
So we're talking like Van Helswim.
Yes.
Yep.
Terrible timing for a pun.
I was getting this. I felt like that just fell so flat, and I was so happy I made it up on the spot. We'll try it again if you would. I feel like editing Van Helswim.
No, it was a good one. I was just in the middle of puffing, and it made me die.
And I coughed.
Good.
Good. But this gentleman also wrote a movie that I have to show you guys a poster for. It'll pop up on your screen here because I figured out how to do this like a professional now.
Is it going to be Cynthia Rothrock?
No, it's a movie starring Judge Reinhold called Runaway Car. And just take a look at this poster and tell me that we don't need to watch this.
I need to watch that right now.
Speeding 100 miles.
Jeffrey Dahmer, the haircut of a lawyer, the suit of a tired banker, runaway car. Somehow there's a helicopter coming out of the flames.
Is
Judd
there a
Russell
rope
is
coming off of the
the
helicopter?
car.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but at the bottom it says a true story.
Based on a true story that we completely made up.
So, yeah, I saw that poster and I was like, all right, I got to figure out how to put this on the screen.
Yeah, I'm excited for that already.
So, I mean, even if we don't talk about it, we have to watch that.
Sure.
But so we'll play the did this movie make money game. So $22 million is the budget.
Okay. Damn.
But
in
the
90?
budget.
It did not make that. It made
8.
I've been so well recently. What did you say?
8.
18.
I guess Whitney's closest without going over 14.7.
Whoop whoop. I win.
This is right, Wheels. I ran. Also, I'm a guy. So.
So just because you're a guy, I don't get to fly a helicopter?
No, you can fly a helicopter, but just like on little missions, not like it's like just go. You know what? I think you should be raising kids and cooking and cleaning. Is what I think.
Okay.
It's tradition, Whitney.
My mom did it. It's good enough for her.
Well, you know what your mom
Maybe.
didn't do? Your mom didn't fly helicopters.
You know what your mom didn't do? Make your dad pull out.
Oh. I mean, not that one.
And I'm
time.
glad that Nic Cage's mom, took that load.
Same.
We have been blessed with some really true greatness. Yeah, greatness.
So the movie starts with a quote from George Bush, and I didn't get a chance to get the whole thing down, but it's like, our message to drug cartels, basically like, we're coming for you.
Oh, you could do a better Bush than that.
Oh, I wasn't doing I guess I
You
could
can.
do Bush.
Fire.
Bar, we're coming for him. That drug cartel, we're coming for each one. Here's my message. Ain't gonna happen. Not gonna do it. Not on my watch. Not on his watch. We will
Not gonna
defend.
happen.
Hey, here's a guarantee. We're not gonna depose any governments and use our CIA to come in and destabilize. We're not gonna do it. Not gonna happen. We're not gonna use your drug cartels to fill our slush funds. America, not gonna do it. Hey, Bob, you or anything from Mexico? We're going.
We would never do anything like that.
That's like, I just not, or anybody that knows their American history, it's just like, we're going to help you guys out. We're like, with America, we're going to take down these cartels. Yeah, we fucked up a lot of things. we did not win that war.
Hey, look, it's Judge Reinhold again.
Ah!
He almost has a George Bush. Hey, car's getting away. Run away car. Hey, run away bar. She went away from me one day. Found her. She's not done that fast. She was going downhill. Easy to catch her when she's going downhill about them short, low legs. I'll tell you what, though, that little heifer can run. Sorry for calling you a heifer, Barb. Come back, dude. Run away, Barb. She's gone again.
But so we meet our hero, Mr. Nic Cage, right out of the gate, playing Jake Preston. They're going into an area of offensive drug cartel activity, and at first I thought he meant offensive, not offensive.
I'll tell you what, dude, what they're doing over there is offensive. I can't abide by it.
And
They're using the
basically,
F word and not talking about fuck.
right out of the gate, we get a bunch of dead people. Dobbs, whoever the fuck that guy was, he's no more.
We
got
just
blowed up.
him, and his death is impacting the movie.
Like I didn't see him in the credits, like on the IMDb at first, and I was like, oh, who's Dobbs? And I went to go look it up, and I was like, oh, never mind.
He came out just as fast as he came in.
Story of my life. This is not a place for you to pick up women, although you can try.
Hello, ladies. Are you interested in some mediocre sex and terrible love? No, me neither.
Sign me up.
Do you want to help me find a comfortable spot in life to wait and die? We'll wait and die together. Hello. I like reading books, mostly on the backs of shampoo bottles and conditioners.
Yep.
I like long walks and video games, and I love taking chances in the game of Risk.
There you go. Now you can just submit that to a video dating service. You're good to go.
You also you forgot.
God.
You forgot to include. You have a decision-making coin.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's second date material. You don't need to know about my fucking coin that I travel with.
Why didn't you call me for a second date? Well, the coin said no.
Coin said, "Not today, Satan."
Went bad.
But yeah, he gives his I was gonna say impassioned speech, but dispassioned speech. Like, they're heroes and they should be avenged.
Yeah. I think we should go kill him. I'm chomping at the bit. Anybody else as mad as I am hopping mad. Piss right off.
I get where he's trying to come from. He's trying to be cool, calm, collected, but he is upset because he's not trying to piss off, be that wild card.
His character or his actor. That's just not him. Let him be. You got to let him do it.
Let him cage.
It'd be fine if he's like, with all due respect, that's bullshit. I am the greatest. Day off the gettest. And they were like, hey, you get the fuck out of here before we get you the fuck out of the army. Something like that, Let him be.
So yeah, before this we had gotten full Cage. So I just looked at my challenge list for myself, 365 days of Nic Cage here on Letterboxd. So we'd gotten Valley Girl, which is a mellower caging out. But then we had...
That's when he was still trying to find his cage.
Yeah. But then we had Peggy Sue Got Married, where he's just fucking... just all over the place on that one.
It's 86?
I think. 87?
Yes, 86.
Oh.
86.
And then Raising Arizona, Moonstruck, Vampire's Kiss, and Wild at Heart were all before this.
All right. I will. Well, he does go full Cage in pretty much all those. Your Honor, I redact my statement, and I, in fact, have been shown the proceed.
There's a whole room of Joint Chiefs of Staff or whatever, but the two that matter are McNeil, who's played by Dale Dye, who I mentioned came up with the story for this, and General Olcott, who's barely in the movie, but he matters to us because he is played by a guy named J.A. Preston, who was in Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Isn't Cage's name Jack Preston?
Yeah,
Jake Preston.
Jake Preston.
And then this guy's name is J.A. Preston.
Was wondering how I fucking knew this cat.
Yeah, he's the very Scottish sounding Con McCleary in Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins.
Oh, I'm Con McCleary. You know I come from Auckland. Small town.
The pond.
He shows up for a fashion in Air Force One, but small part.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna do this Cage thing with Derek.
I mean, you're gonna end up watching most of them with me, probably.
Wow, you're gonna be might as well make it part of your idea.
Right? I might as well jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah. Well, I started early because, spoiler to the people listening and watching, this episode comes out in February, but we're recording it on December 30th. So this is my first dive into 365 Days of Cage.
A nosedive. Try not to pull out.
I took him vertical. So we go to Fort Mitchell, which is at Pima Community College West. We meet Tommy Lee Jones.
Dude, I did not know he was. I don't pay attention to who's going to be on the movie. And I saw him and I was like, oh, Tommy.
That was a really cool surprise when people pop up then.
Yes. I like to, how Dave Anthony goes into his podcast not knowing shit. Or not Dave Anthony, Gareth.
Gareth Reynolds, yeah.
And not knowing shit. I'm like, that's a fun way of doing life. I want to do that.
Fuck yeah.
I like to go through life not knowing shit.
We do the secret movies, and Derek tries to figure out what movie it is, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go and enjoy my popcorn.
I mean, that's it for me. I'm like, well, I'm sitting in some usually air-conditioned theater, eating popcorn, hanging out with friends. I'm gonna get my $5 worth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit here and finish my popcorn, dude.
So Tommy Lee Jones is playing Brad Little. He's there to help them master air-to-air combat because they're all masters of air-to-ground. But who else has helicopters?
Well, I mean, but also air to ground, not that hard to master, dude. You just fly above them and shoot them fucking down and don't let them shoot you back. Done. Just hover above and rain death.
And we have to confront the forces of evil and kill them deader than hell.
Deader than
there's
hell.
So many. I'm glad there's so many I wrote down that are just not plot important, but just really fucking fun things to say.
Just good Tommy Lee lines.
Tommy Lee, by the way,
he's loving this movie.
I could listen to his voice. Like, his voice is meant to be over radio.
Yes.
Like, when he's on that headset, I'm just like, more of that, please. Can we get like a Tommy Lee Jones app where he just reads the stories to me?
Right on the Echo, you could have Sam Jackson. Why can't we have Tommy?
Why can't we get Tommy Lee Jones?
Turn that bullshit down. Turn on some Elvis.
You can get Alec Baldwin, and it's really creepy.
I don't want any part of that.
I put it on once, and I don't know how to turn it off. So if I set an alarm on my Echo, it goes when it goes off. It's like, no, it's like, hey there, time to wake up. Come on, you got to get going for your day. Like, oh, dude, just get out of my house.
That is terrifying.
You keep it in your pants, dude. Actually, let me keep it in my pants. It sounds like you're about to take it out. He sounds as pushy as Nicolas Cage in this movie.
Girl,
dude, the first half of this movie, I was like, he's supposed to be our hero, right? Like,
yeah, I was fully expecting some sort of roofie scene coming up with how he's fucking throwing it.
But so basically, pay special attention to Nicolas Cage because, surprise, he's the best. He's the greatest. Just like
he's the best around. Yeah.
Just like it says down there. I am the greatest.
Right
Other side.
Oh, I guess it is over there.
Yeah.
Huh?
I bet I'll fuck it up if I try. Oh, see, I did it right.
Okay, so I don't remember what the context for this line is.
Ooh,
but it's another good Tommy Lee
games.
Jones line. You're going to be as busy as a 3-peckered goat.
When they're sitting in the cockpit and you got to drive.
But what's the it's when he's telling him about how to fly the plane.
And be in the helicopter and you got to fly and shoot and point and steer and correct.
Oh, I thought you didn't understand the analogy. I'm like, goats be flying. And if you had 3 peckers, you fuck 3 times more.
No, I just couldn't remember the context for why Tommy Lee Jones said that. And it's funny because you read that and it's pretty obviously a Tommy Lee Jones line, but it could also very easily be a Nicolas Cage line.
Yes.
So,
oh yeah,
I'll be as busy as a 3-peckered goat.
We talk about Apaches, by the way, these helicopters, which are fucking rad. I'm sure listener Taker Tom has more information than I do on it, but these are like, especially at the time, the baddest birds in the sky.
Well, the Scorpion was a pretty badass bird too.
Yeah, I think that's all made up. I think an Apache would fuck that thing up.
I don't know about all of the stuff they said about it, but I didn't write it down because who cares? But in the trivia,
helicopter.
It's some kind of Swedish attack helicopter, so it can't be that good.
All right, that's already fake. Swedes don't attack. Everyone knows that. This is a Swedish attack helicopter. It sounds like some sex move before anything else. Can I get the Swedish helicopter to go? Ooh, the attack copter. It's good. It's got cream.
I gave her the old Swedish attack helicopter, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, you dog.
Yes, please.
So we meet our love interest, Billy Lee Guthrie, played by Sean Young. For those who don't know, she's Einhorn from Ace Ventura, but also she pops up she's like the main love interest, I think, if I remember right, in No Way Out with Kevin Costner, which I believe is a Kevin Costner movie I've seen that Jack has not.
Yeah, I do believe that she's on the poster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I'm remembering, she's his love interest. And then she's in Blade Runner.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. She's in a one that you might not know that I think you would enjoy. It's a spoof movie with Armand Asante and her, and it's called Fatal Instinct instead of Basic Instinct or Fatal Attraction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fatal Instinct. It's a fun, stupid like spoof on noir movies, and she's good in it. She has a way of being, and I mean this in the highest regard, like masculine sexy. You know what I mean? Like she's not a super girly girl. She's got some like real strong features.
Probably why she got cast for her part in Ace Ventura. Spoilers for Ace Ventura, but
he found Captain Winky.
She has a penis. She's also in Dune, David Lynch's Dune.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's trying to ask her out for a drink, and so this confused me for the first half of the movie because he sees her and he's like, "Hey, you want to go get a drink?" And she's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay, cool. He's interested. Fine."
Yeah, you don't know there's a hidden thing.
Yeah, and then
on.
a little while they go to the laundromat. They go to the laundromat, and she's like, he's hitting on her, and she's like, "We're not doing this again." And I'm like, "Is there a cut scene? Like,
no,
they just met."
when they get out of the helicopters after that first dry run, once he's done being a 3-peckered goat in a fucking chicken house, he gets out and Tommy Lee Jones introduces him, and they like look at each other, and she says his name, like, because they say this is Preston and this is yada yada, and she's like, hey Jake, like she said his first name, and then Tommy Lee Jones says, do you have a problem with women in the military? He's like, no, just that one.
Only that one.
So
okay.
I thought it was pretty written out, for at least for me, that like this is an ex-boyfriend girlfriend situation.
Okay, see, I took it when he said that as more of like I don't know, I don't like her being in here because I want to bang her and I'm not allowed.
Oh, okay, I could see that though. Like, I don't like that one because she won't sleep with me.
Yeah, but yeah, she turns him down
multiple times.
We have a few shots throughout this of McNeil getting debriefs about the cartel. Like, this guy's whole job on this movie, besides coming up with the story, was he does the intro, and then he sits in a room and just records all of his stuff in one day, and then he shows up for the last scene.
Yep.
Yeah, he's barely in that chair.
Yeah, all of his stuff is in a chair watching screens.
He's very Wilford Brimley and Remo Williams.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy in the chair.
I didn't see that one, guy. Sorry.
Don't be.
Let's watch it.
Has it been long enough now that you're like, I want to watch it again?
I want to see what your wife did. There's a couple scenes in that movie that made me genuinely laugh. It's usually the guy in, I'd forgive the term, but yellow face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's a egregious makeup.
What I remember the most about that movie is Fred Ward diving into a pile of sand and popping out of the top like Bugs Bunny.
Best scene in the movie.
And there was a fight on the Statue of Liberty.
Second best scene in the movie.
And he cuts a hole in glass with a diamond that's on the bad guy's tooth.
Patrick Kilpatrick, third best scene in the movie.
So I remember the three best scenes of the movie.
All right. I remember listening to you guys talk about it, like the podcast, because I listen. I listen. You should listen too.
Well, if they're listening to this, they listen.
Hopefully.
Stop trying to sell our listeners on listening to us.
If you do want to sell them patreon.com/worstpeople for only $3 a month, where you get 2 bonus episodes every month.
I didn't mean for that to turn into an ad.
Well, why not? So the bad guy, the main bad guy, besides just generic drug cartels, is this guy, Eric Stoller, who's played by someone named Burt Rhine. And I thought he looked familiar, so I looked him up. Literally his only movie, so he does not look familiar.
He looks like Leon the Professional.
I was thinking he looks like an off-brand Sven-Ole Thorsen.
Oh, dude, yeah. This guy wishes he was Sven-Ole Thorsen's pubes.
Who?
Sven-Ole Thorsen.
No, who's the guy you're talking about?
Oh, the helicopter, the bad guy helicopter pilot.
Oh, yeah. At one shot, I was like, George Clooney?
Fat old George Clooney.
Fat old
George Clooney today, even though he's still not fat.
I was going to say, we're never going to get fat old Clooney. We're just going to get still sexy old Clooney.
Yeah, you guys suck.
He's going to be the sexiest fucking casket in the goddamn cemetery.
Speaking of caskets, did anybody else notice that the Joint Chief of Staff table looked like a coffin?
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
100%.
I'm used to like the big round room thing, or where it's a big round table with all the guys around it. This was like, it was coffin shaped. It was a diamond with flat top and bottom.
A little ominous.
So they have a birthday party for Tommy Lee Jones. Which I'm only going to mention because this is the first appearance of a guy who's going to be on the podcast, well, on the Patreon a lot for the next few months. Because in the background, you see Rice, who is played by Peter Honorati, who is Detective LaRusso on Cop Rock.
Dude, Cop Rock is so goddamn fun. I never thought I'd say this. Hold your horses, guys. Cop Rock is more fun than Renegade. I said it.
Yeah.
Bleep. It is more fun. All right, if Lorenzo Lamas just busted out into a song every now and then, I caught the bad guy. He's in handcuffs. We could talk again.
That bitch killed my wife.
Well, if they had made...
Did you know my wife is dead? My wife is dead.
If they made Renegade now, there would at least be that one obligatory musical episode that most shows seem to throw in.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
for the people that like, I don't like that show, but it has a musical episode. All right, I'll check it out.
I'm in.
But yeah, Derek had texted us and said, keep your eyes out for a Cop Rock cameo. And I was looking way too hard because there's so many like nobody actors in Cop Rock that I'm like, is it this guy in the background? Was it him? Was it their father? This guy walked up. I'm like, yes, that's it right there. Easy enough to spot.
Well, you see him really closely at the surprise party. He's like center stage in the background.
Oh, I didn't catch him at the surprise party. I caught him walking up to the helicopter with him. So I missed the obvious one.
Yeah, we see him later. We see him obviously straight on because he becomes a character at the end of the movie. But I wouldn't have seen him here. Whitney was like, "Oh, there's LaRusso." So then I started looking, and he's at the party. He's just in the background. I think he's wearing a party hat.
No, that's why I recognize him.
I don't know.
He was smiling, so you wouldn't recognize him.
He wasn't shooting handcuffed people. Hard to tell.
Fun fact about this surprise party, but I'll say it when we get there.
Well, we're there.
Oh, surprise party. Guess where this was filmed?
Oh, that's the nightclub. The surprise party.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought at first. Well, that's coming up here. We'll just talk about the nightclub real quick.
Okay.
It's right after the flight simulator, but since she brought it up.
If anybody has ever been to a strip club, Speedway and Craycroft in Tucson called Tens,
is this Tens?
Bar.
Yeah, at the time it was VIP Show Club.
Do you remember what? I think it was before we were in high school. I think it changed. It changed when we were in high school.
I've only known it as Tens. I mean, I wasn't on the up and up in high school strip clubs except for the Empress because that was 18 and older.
18 and up.
And the Bunny Ranch.
Well, that didn't exist.
Oh, it didn't exist when you guys were in high school?
The Empress became the Bunny Ranch.
No, Empress and Bunny Ranch were two different places because they were both there when I turned 21 or 18.
I'm going to believe the guy who was probably going there on a nightly basis.
No, I've only ever been to Bunny Ranch once. Never went to Empress, but Empress is now a CVS. Bunny Ranch is still a strip club.
I do remember that the Empress was right next to McDonald's.
Yeah, the Empress became a CVS. I remember reading. No one cares about this, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. I remember reading an article because apparently
it's Arizona month. We're talking about Tucson strip clubs. Nothing could be more fucking resident.
The people in the neighborhood were trying to get the places that they didn't approve of to be closed down. And I remember reading about Empress being shut down, and they were like, well, now there's just two more businesses that cater to those people that we need to get rid of. One of them was Bunny Ranch, which is now something else. I can't remember. And then the other one would be Fascinations, which is right next to Bunny Ranch.
Fascinations is amazing, and you're a fucking prude. Fascinations actually used
You mean people that like orgasms? Is that a bad thing?
Right?
I didn't realize that was naughty.
Fascinations didn't hire me. They missed out.
Yeah.
But so there's a scene of flight simulator training.
They knew they would have gone broke on your employee discount. I'll take two.
Which I guess this flight simulator is a real thing, or was. It's a AH-1 flight weapons simulator for the Cobra helicopter at Western Army Aviation Training Site in Arizona.
No. This is that Nintendo 64 game, Wing Commander or something like that. I've seen this. Or is this the early version of Minecraft?
I don't know about what they were seeing inside of it, but the outside where you see the little fair ride that rotates what was the Star Wars?
Star Tours.
Star Tours, yeah, that little thing. And also the Back to the Future ride.
Uh-huh.
Where you get in a little thing and it goes me.
Yeah.
We have his co-pilot or his gunner, Breaker.
Breaker is like a mix of Brian Austin Green and Paul
Walker.
Paul Walker.
Uh-oh.
Did Jack freeze?
Jack froze, and it is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's the best picture.
There you are.
Hi.
I can't wait till you see how you froze the first time.
Coming back.
You're like.
So, did you agree?
She said Brian Austin Green. I was like, with who?
Yes, with Paul Walker.
Oh man.
Right?
All head, no shoulders.
It's like if Brian Austin Green or Paul Walker ever did weightlifting.
Yeah.
A little bit of Chris O'Donnell in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
But except, he can at least act a little.
Yeah, I mean, he's a nobody. It's a guy named Brian Kessner. The two things I recognize from his credits were Monster Squad and The Running Man. But Running Man, he played MedTech, and Monster Squad, it was another unnamed character. So
yeah, as soon as you said Running Man, I was like, he's not a main.
No, he's a guy who probably walks on screen for 2 seconds.
Yeah,
he drags Professor Tanaka off screen or something. I don't know.
Sub-Zero.
Yes, he plays Sub-Zero. That's right. Whitney's like, what?
The hell
Who's
you guys
Professor
talking
Tanaka,
about?
and why are we talking about Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Now, Professor Tanaka wife was the big gentleman in Three Ninjas that they had to practice, like Tom Tom had to punch him in the balls or whatever happened.
Yeah, he's also in Pee Wee Herman as Preston's butler. Hey, this movie has Preston.
Oh, there's
Preston's all over.
Preston's and Shannon's or Sharon's.
It's all connected, guys.
Oh yeah, there's a right here in this scene. So they do that thing.
Tommy
Lee Jones keeps, going harder and harder, and his sidekick is like, that level's only meant for experts, and he's like, boy, if you keep making me say everything twice. I don't know why he just became Hank Hill, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, Texas.
So we were talking about Tommy Lee Jones. We had a little momentary snafu there. So for anybody watching at home, Whitney and Jack have switched places. Computers restarting, internet,
Life.
Poor people using cheap Arizona internet.
Yep. Sums it up pretty well.
Let's get things back into order with a little bit of this.
This is going to be like a fucking Letterman skit where he just always says Norm McDonald's snowed in, even though Norm McDonald's sitting right there. Go-to.
Or it's just going to be a picture of the week, like, what's he going to fuck with us now?
No, it's going to be this the rest of our lives, dude. At least until we watch it. And even if we watch it, if it's anywhere near fun for him, like if it's not just a boring bad movie, it's going to be in our lives forever. I'm sorry.
You're not wrong. Well, as long as he lives, at least.
No, he'll fucking leave a fucking will to somebody. His last will and testament is you must run by with this DVD cover at least once a month. You can pick. If it was me, I would do one at the end of the month and one at the beginning of the month, like 2 days in a row of it, because then you get a good reprieve.
But then it's only every other month at least.
It's going to be one of us having to do it to each other.
Right?
But so Tommy Lee Jones was like increasing the protocol of the whatever, and his little assistant that's hanging out is like, sir, that's only for experts. And he's got that, if you keep making me tell you to do things twice, I'm going to kick whatever.
Dug out the heck, Bobby. If you keep questioning everything I say, I'm going to have you washing windshields. I'll tell you what.
But Nic Cage is kicking ass in this flight simulator.
He's the greatest.
Taking everybody out. They keep it's just screaming over and over, I am the greatest.
It starts calm though, because like, I'm the greatest, and he goes, I am the greatest, and then pretty soon, if you're just walking by this simulator, you're scared. I am the greatest. I am it. Hey, not me.
It's like if somebody was walking by your house right now.
Oh yeah,
you just can hear me like texting me. You okay, buddy?
You're like, no, it's just my own
realize
face.
the whole neighborhood can hear you yelling, "You are the greatest." Well, they should know.
Sorry, I was just masturbating.
Yeah, this is where Derek gets his the opening line from: "Skip it, bop it, pull it, twist it,
shoot 'em, blast 'em, nab 'em, scab 'em, whatever."
Flip 'em, smoke it, rub it down. Oh,
I mean, there's all kinds of little like nicknames here, like Angry Turtle, 12 o'clock, got 'em, zapped 'em, snort this. Like just making up their own lingo as they go.
But then he has to put down this little monocle thing that does it's a targeting computer, I guess.
And he can't focus.
And he can't focus on it.
I don't know if this is the same thing, but I know that like the Apaches, at least, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiger Tom, when the gunner moves his head, that's what controls the front gun. You don't aim that with a stick or anything. It's how you move. So this might be part of that.
Okay.
The Apaches are real fucking smart, so I'm thinking that's something to do with that. Whether the pilot has control of different guns or missiles.
Yeah, there's something along those lines, because he's like, you need to match what you're seeing on the grid with what you're seeing in real life.
Oh, it's the front gun, because he's the pilot, right? And then the other guy's the gunner. Yeah. So it's the front gun the pilot controls, because that's what he uses to take out Secundus. Whatever his fucking name is.
But so he fucks up there, but he just still did pretty good. Everybody's pretty happy for him.
He wasn't supposed to be at that level.
There's a quick thing I have to mention. We barely see her, so I wouldn't have recognized her if I didn't see her in the credits. But he goes into the hangar afterwards, and he goes up to this woman who's working on one of the helicopters or helping unload or something. And he's like, "Hey, Sharon, where's Billy?" I don't know if I want to tell you. Well, Sharon is played by Ilana Shoshan, who also played a character named Sharon.
We know the name.
Stone Cold.
Yeah, I would not have pulled that.
So this is a shared cinematic universe with.
This is the.
See, this is where. Yeah, this is where she met the guy that was their like military guy.
Yeah.
And got them the helicopter and stuff.
Crate. Wasn't it Crate?
Yeah, Crate.
Yeah.
Crate. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. This movie would have definitely been improved with a little Lance Henriksen.
Well, I mean, to be honest, what movie wouldn't?
Valid point. But you put like nothing against
Henriksen?
nothing pilot or no name pilot, because they do a good job of keeping him visor down, like mysterious and dark, right? But imagine if it was Lance Henriksen. I'm gonna fly up behind you and shove this rock up your fucking ass
in a priest uniform.
Yeah, in a priest uniform to boot.
You know what? I like, speaking of this bad guy pilot Stoller, I like that even though he doesn't have lines really, I don't think he has any, but they give him a personality and he's like a person who you can like root against, because to compare it again to Top Gun, that's one of the things that always bothered me about that and the new one. The bad guys, they show them, but they're just black visor, silent pilots. Like our American pilots are always chitter chattering and blip bapping back and forth.
Yeah, but we're not on their channel.
With those guys, but they don't even, they're just sitting there just like stoically.
I do believe you were referencing non-white people, which means they are not as good at us as flying.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be like Russians, so they're pretty white.
Non-whites is what I said. No, you're 100% right. Those movies are supposed to be more about like, oh, we're against Russia, not the Russian pilots. The Russian.
Yeah.
How great would it have been if you would have like a Red Baron character, much like you're comparing to this. This guy is a Red Baron character.
And they never actually say Russian pilots. They're Russian MiGs, but it's an unidentified enemy in those movies, because we were done with Russia pretty much, right? So.
Well, we still aren't, Playboy.
Well, I mean, we thought we were. We were done for about 30 years.
We got a good nap.
But so he finds Billy in the laundromat doing her laundry. There's some flirty stuff. This is where we find out that they did date before, because she's like, I don't want to do this again.
Let's just be friends, and goes in for a kiss, and he's like, oh, I thought that was customary friends kiss, and she's like, nuts and shaking hands. Oh, sorry, I thought friends blew each other.
I thought friends danced to Endless Love in the Dark.
Hey, that's what Whitney and I do. Friends do just slow dance with each other.
I don't think that's a normal friend thing. I think that's a you and Whitney. It's a Whitney weird thing. No judgment. That's just not normal.
So I had made the comment. I was like, "Why is he so rapey? Why is Nic Cage
Nic Cage
so
nothing.
Fucking rapey?"
This is like he seemed rapey here. This is nothing compared to the nightclub, and then when they're flying together
in the air is the worst.
And then Derek's like, "Well, I mean, he is Army," and my retort was, "Whitney's Army. He's not that rapey."
And I just gave her a look.
Whitney takes no for a word. He's like, all right, cool.
He takes no for a word, not an answer.
That's the word I was looking for.
But I don't listen to it.
No, he does. He's like,
I know
right, well,
he does.
Let's get drunk.
I know you wouldn't hang out with that person.
But so yeah, they go to the nightclub, or he does keep her panties, by the way. I'm gonna throw that out there.
She says it because he's like, hey, don't you want these bags? She's like, you keep them. I'm like, hey, now we're playing games.
Yeah, but okay, sure. She said keep them. He stole them.
They could have been.
He tried to give them back. He's like Robin Hood of panties.
This could have been a Gorbachev's chainsaw.
Chekhov phone.
Yeah, because they were light pink. They should have been bright red for a scene that's coming up soon.
No, these were actually supposed to be white, but she, unlike both George Bushes, she forgot to separate the colors and the whites. A terrible joke, and I'm sorry.
It works,
but it would have been better if they started off.
He started as white. He started as like stark white panties, but she left like a red bra in there, and now everything's got a pink hue.
It's usually a red sock.
No, not this time. She doesn't wear socks. She wears open-toed socks, first of her kind.
Awful.
Like, you know, the oboe gloves that have the fingers showing.
That's exactly what I pictured.
Toeless socks.
The toe socks where the tips of the toes are cut off.
That's what I was going to say. The toeless socks are for the toe shoes. That way
I'm
your
just
toes
giving
fit in those
a,
little things better.
Quick Google here real quick to see if I should start this business.
But so they go to the nightclub.
Oh, they exist already?
Of course they do.
In a lot of different colors, too.
Let me see.
Is it a company owned by Quentin Tarantino?
It's called Tarantine Toes.
Wow. Okay. I wonder if they're compression.
I am the greatest. I am the greatest. To hope my neighbors hear that I am the greatest.
So they're at the nightclub. Billy's there and she's dancing and he interrupts her dance and gets into a fight with this dude because he's like, "What? You would stop me from dancing with my fiance?" So, you know.
It's the 90s. Women don't have a say. He's like, I own her. Sorry, the other guy's like, I own her until this song stops. After that, we can talk.
Go fuck yourself,
The while
dude.
this music plays, she's mine. Shut up. Nobody asked you, bitch. I'm trying to talk to this guy.
This when we get the thing where he's telling her, like, or she's like, "Well, you just want me to stay home and cook and clean." And he's like, "I don't know what's so wrong with that. Having
This is when
babies
we're
and cooking."
intense.
It's tradition.
Yeah. He does do a little Nic Cage. This is where we get some more caginess because he does his eyebrow thing, real quick eyebrows. I can't even do it that fast.
I mean, I can do the one.
Ooh, you got the rock.
And we back at the base with McNair, whatever the fuck his name was. We find out, you know, that they have to be ready to go at a moment's notice because, not surprisingly, this movie is going to end with a helicopter battle, which is what you're hoping for, right?
Yeah,
because all of the cartel members are going to meet in one place very conveniently.
We're going to meet at MacGuffin Park.
So they get teamed up to go out for some more exercises. Nic Cage and Breaker are teamed up with Billy D or whatever her name is.
Bippy D one leg. This whole time, Tommy Lee Jones has been lobbying. He's like, "Let me go on this mission," and they just keep like, "No, you're too important
We need
to
you
us."
here.
AKA, you're too old.
Yeah.
Well, also, you're the best that we have, and we need you to train the rest.
I mean, it's valid points on both sides, though, because he says, like, you are the best. Like, I'm the best there is. And he's like, yeah, which is why we need you to train these younger pilots. And he's like, well, experience is only as good as, you know, what you can use. So I need to get out there.
Let me play, boss.
Well, and it's funny because this whole movie, like, one of the big things is how old Tommy Lee Jones is. He's 40.
40. Looks great.
Is he really 40?
Well, I don't know if he's really 40. In the movie, he's 40. But he also has a fucking...
Three
like,
shitbirds.
Like a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and like a 2-month-old.
Well, it's a year.
Okay, it's sitting up, so it's... I don't know how old babies get.
Probably a year.
I don't know how old babies get.
It's either 13 or 3, but he has a kid.
Look, they're all small. One of them's still bald.
One of them's still on the bottle.
That's what I meant.
So a young, under a year.
But they do have this, like, so they get paired up. It's Nic Cage and Breaker with Guthrie, and she's flying the scout helicopter, which can paint the lasers, targets, and whatever.
It's got a droid on top of it.
I was like,
Yeah.
It's got Kenny.
It's got a fucking droid.
But like,
A
this
little
is
Darth
that really
Kenny droid.
uncomfortable scene of like it's uncomfortable to watch. Like, it made me squirm a little. It's also, I just felt really bad for Breaker and for her partner, Buzz, because they're just
Right?
listening to all
Awkward.
this because he's just saying shit like, he's like, "Oh, I've got a view of your tail that's mind-boggling."
I
And,
remember
Then
you
he
liked
gets
me on top.
he flies above. Yeah. If I remember correctly, you like me on top. I've got a great view of your tail.
She's got a couple of good comebacks. One of them, she's like, "Well, we've both been there when your guns don't go off." And then also, she's like, "You need to get a hold of yourself." He's like, "I've got a hold of myself." Then she's like, "Then you don't need me."
Deuces.
Sure, my guns didn't go off, but I'm not getting wasted before I go flying. I didn't have 20 Jaeger bombs before I tried to fly.
So
That's the
like,
difference.
I know in today's world that's not apropos, if you will. Like,
this is 1990. It was 100% acceptable. He probably got a medal.
See, I'm still in that fucking mind of frame. If you're gonna talk to me like that, bitch, expect some retorts. Like, I would still come back hard.
I'm surprised Buzz didn't just like, can we keep this channel clean, please? We gotta keep this channel clean, especially from rape talk like that. If anybody's gonna be seduced, it's gonna be me.
Well, because he should say anything in this movie, because Breaker is sitting there and he's just like, oh, that's really funny. I like it when you sexually harass women.
You're so smooth, dude.
She's busting your balls, bro.
Yeah, then they go to this boxing gym, which is just apparently the high school gym for Amphi High School here in Tucson.
It is.
Yeah, boxing gym. There's no ring. It's just hardwood floor.
Yeah.
I guess it's just a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even like a specialty like swim gym.
Yeah, there's no there's no mats on the floor anywhere.
Well, they did fight on a mat.
Maybe one guy's name is Matt.
Yeah. No, they fought on a mat, but I mean, it's probably just like I
don't think they did. Are you sure?
They did. Yeah, they got on top of a mat, but it's still not a boxing ring. Okay. It's not for taking a fall on. It's for doing like tumbles and stuff. It's gymnastics.
Yeah, I definitely thought it was just straight hardwood floor.
It's whatever the school had available, and that's what they had.
Because I love, you could see, like, it's like even the military wouldn't have this, because they have the thing on the ground that says like Fort Marshall, but it's just like a white banner that they like laid on the ground. They're like, nobody step on this; it wrinkles if you step on it.
We have one banner. Do not make this the most expensive shot in the movie, please. We're talking about flying helicopters that are replacing banners every fucking take.
But Nic Cage and Tommy Lee Jones box a little, and Nic Cage takes him out because, you know, he's young and virile. So
Darla was the prom queen.
We get the morning where Tommy Lee Jones wakes up from getting punched in the face and he's in pain, but he was walking around like when I wake up.
Because he hit
he said his back hurts.
He got fucking splayed out, dude.
That's what I'm saying. At least he got knocked out and he's walking around like this. I just wake up like this.
Understood.
There's a cute little thing about, well, God damn it, wife, you're treating me like I got shot in the dick. You might want to check and make sure it's still there.
Yeah.
I guess I should.
And like, he was even like only had 10 minutes to get to work. It's like, you know what though? I got time for fucking the missus. I always got time. You recognize this chick at all?
That's what I was about to ask, if you guys recognized her.
1,000%.
I mean,
she's the mom.
I recognize her from, I just watched it because, recording just after Christmas. She's in Scrooge, but she's also in all the Lethal Weapons as the psychiatrist.
She's also in Die Hard and Ricochet as the same character. She's in Die Hard and Ricochet. She's Gail Whalen, who is the news reporter.
Oh, wow. Shared universe.
Yeah, and she's Gail Whalen in Ricochet. So
she's somebody's mom.
She is Mrs. Walsh in The Goonies.
That's who it is. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, like I was going through her stuff, and it's like, I was like, we're going to be talking about most of her career. Because we've got Romancing the Stone, The Goonies, All the Lethal Weapons, Monster Squad, Action Jackson, Die Hard, Ricochet, Scrooged, Congo. So,
Congo.
We'll be seeing her again. Ooh, and speaking of Congo.
Ugly gorilla.
Where is it? We'll be talking about Congo. I have to talk about Congo because I just got this.
Ooh.
Big old special 4K box from Vinegar Syndrome. Look at that
thing. Fuck yeah. Ernie Hudson, Tim Curry, to name a few.
God.
Bruce Campbell.
I said to name a few.
You gotta leave some spoilers, babe.
Yeah, when he doesn't want to know who's in it. Don't spoil it for me. He's in the trailer. Don't spoil it for me. I didn't watch it.
And there is another quick scene of caginess that has nothing to do with anything other than Tommy Lee Jones is old and in pain right now, because Nic Cage goes running past him and he's doing this fucking high knee run. Yeah, Whitney was like, cocaine, cocaine, cocaine. Because this dude is just running and his knees are going up to his face. And he's like, how you doing today? Oh, yeah, I'm good.
And Tommy's like slowly walking up the steps.
And he even says like, all good? Like, am I getting in trouble for knocking your old ass out? That's all I want to know. All right, cool. I'm not. Honey.
I guess there's supposed to be 20 years between the two of them, right?
I mean, that is kind of the gap, dude. Like, I wouldn't want to fucking go toe-to-toe with a 22-year-old right now unless it was a whiskey drinking competition.
Girl, you know we win that.
That's one thing you do get better at with age. You don't go through recovery. He would have another contest tomorrow, and I would have $50 in Lucky Wishbone.
See, you have a fight, he wins. You have a drinking contest, you win. Then you have another fight, he loses.
Yeah.
I'll fight you after a couple of banana daiquiris, not before.
Fermented pickles.
Fermented
Did you say
pickles.
Yeah.
Fermented pickles? You're being absurd. Have a banana and shut up. Fermented pickles.
Come down to Harbottle and get a fermented pickle. How do you think we make pickle beers?
With a little bit of love and a spot of ketchup. Love and ketchup? What are we talking about?
I'm pretty sure that's a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, right?
Love and ketchup is a great one. Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo.
Oh no,
Love
he was
him.
in the Basketball Diaries.
Yeah.
Not Love and
Basketball gives me diarrhea. If I run and dribble at the same time, I poop my pants, I tell you. I can't have another banana. Okay, I'll have one more banana. One more banana. That's for you.
Speaking of pooping your pants,
Ooh. Oh, I'm back. Sorry, what happened?
the next scene is Nic Cage training to fly in what's called the bag.
Oh, terrifying.
So they put him in the back of the helicopter, but they just cover everything with plastic bags.
Yeah, he can't see out the windows.
So he's got to fly this helicopter.
Duct tape and black trash bags.
He's got to fly this, I don't know, $40 million helicopter conservatively.
I mean, I'm going to put, I don't even know.
80s money, $40 million.
That's what I mean, $40 million then.
Yeah, so 15
Because
billion.
right now, one missile costs about 120 million. So
it's a smart missile, though.
But yeah, so it's total darkness. He only has the targeting systems, and everybody's like, "Oh no!" But he gets confused with targeting systems. But you know what the thing is? He puts the little thing down. He just needs to put it back up and trust the force.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Much like Eddie Murphy told Judge Reinhold in Beverly Hills Cop 1.
Oh, you mean? Damn it! I got beer on my finger,
dude. I was setting that up so fucking perfect in your face. There he is.
I got beer on my finger, and I went to touch the touchpad, and it wouldn't work.
I was like, "Ooh, I have a perfect Judge Reinhold moment."
Yes, sorry, got him. Well,
Who?
all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so he has one chance to pass, one more chance to pass it or fail it. You fail, you're out of the fucking program, Pilgrim.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
And so Sean Young's there, and she's kind of like, "Hey, look, it's a lot like sex. Nobody does good the first time."
Yeah.
I think I did amazing my first time, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say disagree. Ask your mom, Sean Young. Banged her. God, I hope she was alive at that point. Otherwise, this is a real sick joke. But she does a thing. She's like, "You ever played cowboys and Native Americans before? Like where you put your fingers up and start shooting your friends." And that's
She's
when
like,
she
"Shoot me.
notices
Fucking shoot me."
he's right-handed, left eye dominant.
Yeah, and that's the problem is he can't focus on the camera, the little tiny camera over his right eye and the screen on his left, which just sounds confusing anyway, to be honest with you. Like,
I feel like it takes practice.
yeah.
Can't we just put it on the other side of my face?
That was my first thought. I was like, they don't have a little clip where they can just go, "Meow." But then there wouldn't be any conflict for the movie, right? Besides the conflict.
But besides, the guns and the bombs and the machine guns and the missiles and the rockets and the cartel and the drugs
But
and
that's
the
Red
wings.
glare.
But all those things you just said make up a solid 20 minutes of this 85-minute movie.
Yeah.
The other
That's true.
65 minutes is, but my left eye doesn't work that good.
But we need one more thing. His left eye's not that strong. Perfect.
Let's get those red panties from, the previous laundry scene and tie them around your face.
Yeah, so that's what they do. They Tommy Lee Jones. Well, we do get a moment which they kind of brush over real quick, which finds an 85-minute movie. Tommy Lee Jones kind of has a revelation to himself that he's not helping this kid, even though he thinks Preston has it and all this stuff. He's not helping him that much because if he makes him the best, then they won't need Tommy Lee Jones anymore.
Yeah.
He has this moment with his wife where he kind of realizes that, but they just brush over it. But then we get him.
There was something really
with
awkward
chocolate.
about
Oh, he
watching
had the
Tommy
chocolate
Lee
lipstick.
Jones eat a fucking fudgesicle.
If he would have eaten the fucking thing, that would have been fine. He's just sitting there like just
he
gumming
kissed it like it was a fucking sleeping Disney princess.
He had chocolate lipstick for this whole scene.
And it looks like he just learned how to eat butt on somebody that just learned how to wipe.
Well, and like the chocolate on his lips is one thing, but like in the first part, it's in the middle. Then the next shot, it's off to the right, and the next shot, it's off to the left. And I'm like, come on, continuity director, tell him to suck that fudgesicle the right way.
Nah, he's a method actor. He's like, I'm getting a fudgesicle every time, brand new one. Every scene, look at that, little fudgy. Oh, fudgy, no. You want me to shoot again? No fudgy. Our Tommy Lee Jones ain't moving without a goddamn fudgy.
I get paid in fudgies.
I love how the wife was like, all right, cowboy, let's go to bed. He's like, but can I take my ice cream?
Well, what are you going to do with that ice cream?
I know what I would do with it.
Okay, so...
Eat it, you weirdo.
God, where did he think I was going with that?
I've met you.
There's a training. Her out of bed for eating fudgies in the bedroom.
There's a training montage where they put panties over Nic Cage's head, like so.
That periscope's not even on his eye, unless the hole is higher than I think.
Yeah, the hole is higher. I was thinking the same thing.
He has a line coming up in this that was just like, this is so cagey, and dude, it's like, I lost just a little bit of control back there, but now everything's cool. Like, it's so fucking just, who do you think you are, sir? Oh, I know
Elvis Presley.
I think you're Elvis Presley.
He is Nicolas fucking Cage.
Yeah, but he's being Elvis right here.
Yeah, that's he's been Elvis his whole career.
He's been obsessed with Elvis his whole life. He married Elvis's
I get
daughter.
it. I'm obsessed with Elvis.
Yeah,
I'm all fucked up. Oh.
So he's got the periscope on his right eye, and it goes up over the top of the Jeep. They spray paint the window of the Jeep for some reason, even though he's got panties and duct tape on his head.
Just in case it's a little light getting through.
So the military gets pissed later when they're like, why the fuck do we have to replace this windshield?
It's a Humpy, dude. I think you can just pop it right down.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. They just fold it down.
So I did, hey, everyone in this fucking Humvee, put goggles on. Deal with it.
But so, yeah, basically he's got to drive this Jeep with this rigged up thing, which is what Tommy Lee Jones did when he was younger, because he also had an eye dominance problem.
What?
And like, I get what they're doing, but like, I know this concept because I've used these things where you're like looking and there's a mirror and there's another mirror up top and then it goes out. But I'm like, this guy doesn't drive this Jeep slowly. He takes off at fucking full
50.
speed.
Yeah.
In a parking lot of Humvees and other machines.
Don't hit any other government
Yeah, if this is me and I'm
property.
Tommy Lee Jones, I'm taking you out to the dirt where like I can at least like, oh, you ran over cactus that would have been instead people.
Yeah, because he could have easily killed some people here, whatever, but he doesn't. He successfully drives. There's a few close calls, but it's a fun scene still.
He's got panties on his head.
Yeah.
He did use the Force.
General.
Dude, that was the best part when the general or whoever pulls up and his wife, it's ADR, but you just hear her, he got panties on his head.
Yeah, just like Tommy Lee Jones snaps up real quick, like, oh shit.
General.
Good day for a drive. I do like to Breaker's in the back, and he's like, wouldn't this be better if we were all blindfolded, because this thing is just whipping around the road.
Oh, Breaker, you're supposed to be the comedy relief and you're not.
He's like Goose, but he doesn't get when I was waiting so how would you eject from a helicopter? Do you just die? Wouldn't. They don't have a thing where like the propellers fold up and that shoots you in the air.
No.
What? Did we get his Inspector Gadget's hack?
Yeah.
That's not how this works. All right, might be.
It launches you out the bottom.
To eject from like an Osprey. I don't even think so, but yeah, Tommy Lee Jones at one point says we can survive a crash in this thing at X amount of G's. I can't remember what he said.
20 G's. 20 I'm not going to prove it to you.
I'm not going to prove it. Yeah. So, and we see later that well, we'll get there.
Yeah. But so then they go back into the simulator with the eyepiece, and Nic Cage is kicking ass. So they do the bag again, and of course he passes, but he does have a great line. Tommy Lee Jones is like, he's like, how am I doing? Tommy Lee Jones is like, how you think you're doing, boy? He's like, I'd have to say I'm doing piss perfect. And he does like a southern accent. I don't know what
I did
piss
like that.
perfect means.
It means you don't dribble on the seat.
Okay. All right. I don't know anything about
You
that.
didn't get any on your little crotch area. You didn't pee on the floor. You didn't get any on your hands. You pissed perfect.
Well,
I don't have a penis, and I know this.
How do you wash your hands if you're not peeing on them?
Oh God!
Huh?
Have I been doing this wrong?
Yes, very
Ladies,
wrong.
He's taken.
I've
he's
eaten
all
at your house that you've cooked for you. Have cooked for you with those piss hands.
When I was a kid, I heard that piss was sterile, so I just thought you're supposed to piss on your hands.
I mean, there's some logic there that's quite flawed.
You know what? Change of subject. For anybody listening on audio, I'm sorry. I'm having a lot of fun with this being video.
The Judge Reinhold clip is a poster is worth it alone, I think. It's just the price of admission. It's just, dude, it's getting so normal.
I just love that when I pop it up this way, all we see on the background is Jack flipping off Judge Reinhold.
It's pretty fantastic.
I would never flip off Judge Reinhold.
So Billy takes Nic Cage out on a date to celebrate. And they go to, at the time it was the tack room here in Tucson.
Yeah.
Now it's Hacienda del Sol. It's up in the foothills up by La Paloma and whatnot.
This drive that they're taking. Also, Jack, what is this car?
It's definitely a Corvette. I would guess it's a
Is
67.
it the Stingray?
Yeah, I think it's a 67 Stingray, but I'm not 100% sure on it.
That's what I was thinking also.
I was a little worried they were going to run into Charlie Sheen as the Wraith on these back roads, and maybe Clint Howard with that giant fucking hair.
Do you know what this road is that they're driving on?
It's on the way to Old Tucson?
I was thinking, Saguaro National Monument East off of Houghton.
And that's where Wraith is filmed, I believe.
I just looked up just because I wasn't sure. Wraith was 1986. I was like, maybe they did run into each other. That was right before Nic Cage had to do the high knee runs. He ran into Charlie Sheen. And
I was going to say, you don't think that fucking left a coke trail from 86 to 1990 down Tucson back roads? Fucking better believe it. That's how you get the high knee. I got cocaine in my high knee. Ho ho.
So, yeah, they go on this date. They're dancing. They're fucking. It's beautiful.
She has a line because it's a quick flip, in my opinion. It's a very quick flip from I hate you and yada yada to then he's like, why'd you change? Less to take off.
She first comes out to meet him and he's like, you look great. And she's like, this old thing? And I'm like, I've seen what you've been wearing this whole movie, lady. This is not a this old thing.
Yeah, you've been dressed like a fucking 1990s mom just doing house chores this entire movie.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden you got fucking curves. But I respect that he's like, let's just skip dinner and get to the fucking, and she's like, first of all, a little anticipation, a little patience, also food. And she gets kind of her, I'm gonna be hangry voice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure everybody in a relationship has heard this from their partner. Like,
I don't know.
Food.
Never. I've never heard my wife get angry at anything.
I just try to feed people all the time so it never gets there.
I'm pretty sure Jack has heard my hangry voice.
I try not to. It's why I carry around a pocket full of pretzels.
But so then the last act of this movie is literally the last act of Top Gun. First, it's air-to-air combat versus your instructors.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in this case, it is Tommy Lee Jones and Detective LaRusso from Cop Rock.
Rice
Man. Yeah.
Or instead of Iceman, it's Rice Man.
Yep.
That's so stupid.
They went so far with that, right?
Instead of Goose, you will be playing Caboose.
You'll be playing Duck.
You'll be playing.
No, that doesn't work. People can't just yell Duck in war. Never mind.
I think that's why they got Rattler.
And instead of Maverick, you're gonna be. We're gonna go with the Rick.
I didn't even make that connection. Tommy Lee Jones is Rattler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom
Skerritt.
Tom Skerritt, thank you, is Viper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't even try.
It's not even a fucking smidge, dude. Not even
Rice and
iota.
Rattler.
Look, like, all right, Rice Man.
I bet you they tried to get Tommy Lee Jones to grow a mustache, but it just didn't look right.
I don't think I want to see him with a mustache. He's got a good upper
you
lip.
see it?
Like-
You see, it's like almost like a pencil. It's almost like.
But I mean, like with a Tom
Petunia.
Skerritt mustache, he would probably look a lot more like a racist sheriff. So
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't want him to say the word boy if he's got a little thin mustache like that. It works when you're talking to Nicolas Cage. Don't get cocky, boy.
But so they have their little air battle, and of course, Cage and Breaker win. He does this up and over vertical twist.
You want me to get
thing,
vertical?
and-
Let's give it a little twist.
And Tommy Lee Jones does break his target lock earlier in the fucking fight where it was
With the
like,
fun
he's like,
little
I had
barrel
dead to
roll.
rights. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then Tommy Lee Jones hides out and he's like, if he come here right through this canyon, and Nicolas Cage pops up right behind him.
And I mean, it's been a minute since I watched the first Top Gun. I watched it right before Maverick came out. But I want to say this is also just beat for beat that fight because it's I think Tom Cruise has
Michael Ironside.
Well, he gets Michael Ironside earlier on. So then in the second one is Tom
For
Skerritt.
5 points, what is Michael Ironside's call sign? I think I know it. I
I'm
could be
out.
wrong.
Joker.
Is it Joker?
It's
Sure.
Joker.
Joker.
Because I always thought that was funny because I don't think I've ever seen Michael Ironside smile.
When he does, it's not good. Like when he laughs, it's just that. Where you think you're going to get skinned. Why is he smiling? Am I close to death? Why is Michael Ironside smiling at me? I don't like this.
Well, I have 5 points for whatever competition we're doing. I mean, nobody proved me if I was right or wrong, and I could be wrong, but I'm 93% sure it's Joker.
Yeah,
Not
'cause
Jester. Damn it. It's
Oh,
Jester.
It is Jester.
Oh well, you lost your 5
Nope,
points.
got him back. I'll take
2.5.
4. Okay.
2.5.
2.5. That's still 2.5 more than you guys have.
It's true. That's true. It's my game, so you get 2.5. Whitney gets a star, and I get a circle.
Who gets a banana sticker?
Jack.
Banana scratch and drink. It's a scratch and drink banana sticker. I'll tell you one thing about that is scratch. Whoa, I scratched it too many times.
But so they get back from their training mission and have to go out immediately because all the cartel guys are in the same location, which is a really good idea. And
all right, everyone to 4 eggs in one basket.
All of the eggs.
So it's a joint DEA Army task force something, and
it's like a dance. What do you call it? What's the fucking word I used to hate? Quintilla.
Cotillion.
Cotillion. It's a DEA Army cotillion. Let's not invite the Air Force. We don't want them here.
So they get sent out right after the exercise for Operation, wait for it, Firebird.
Oh, not
Woo!
Firebirds. He didn't
Said
quite
it.
say it.
That's
No.
what Derek said, but
he almost said it.
I'm
Still
counting
said
it.
and this is where Nic Cage gets all fucking Manny and is like, "What do you mean you're going with us? You can't be in danger."
But don't you understand? I just don't want you to get hurt. The it's an annoying scene because I don't like the behavior, but it does lead to another great split second moment when she's like, "Well, fuck you, I'm doing it anyway," and walks off. In the background, Nic Cage not only kicks the air, he
high
almost
kicks
does
it.
like a Liu Kang bicycle kick. Like he's got both legs in the air. Like
I laughed out loud because like a little kid walking away like, it's so fucking stupid.
I love
Right
it.
before that though, we get a Tommy Lee Jones. I had to write this, like I got the end of the line, but he says something, full tilt boogie for freedom and justice. Full tilt boogie for freedom and justice? Sign me up. I don't know who we're going to war with, but I'm fucking going, Tommy.
Oh, this is also the
Put
part
that shit on
where
posters.
the colonel comes down and he's like, "Hey, so I talked it over with everybody, and you're right. You are now the lead. You're going on this mission.
flight leader. Yeah.
Flight
Yeah.
leader, yeah." And he's like,
I'm
"I
the
know
colonel, not decided you are going to take all my herbs and spices and pepper the enemy. When I say herbs and spices, I mean rockets and bullets. Hope that is clear.
it. Yes, it is,
Uh,
sir."
Did you choke on any herbs and spices there?
Nope, just air.
Oh, that is a tough one. You're going to need that. You might want to get better at breathing, son.
He can see He just can't breathe.
Let's see how he handles drinking.
I've been practicing for 40 years and I'm not good at it yet.
Drinking?
No, breathing.
39.
Well, I mean, 39 years, whatever. What's
It's
the
not
difference
for
between 39
everybody.
and 40?
Nothing.
One. One.
Oh, good thing that we're starting a new endeavor.
In
So,
Denver? Yeah.
We're starting new in Denver.
They're starting anew in Denver. First I've heard of this, by the way.
Oh, yeah, Jack, I didn't tell you we're all moving to Denver.
All of us.
You
Sell
think
your
you
house.
still work at the Arizona Beer House?
No, but all three of us are going to have to share a studio to afford it. And I don't mean a recording studio.
It will also
It will
be
be.
that.
Man, your guys' house is weird. You have 2 beds and a table with microphones all over it.
And cameras.
Oh, fuck that, dude. I'm just hanging a fucking microphone from my bed so I can just lay down. It's like the lazy man's Michael Buffer.
Well, let's get ready to podcast. We both did it.
Yeah.
So they have to go to the Catamarca Desert, which is, I read on IMDb trivia, so who knows what these people know. But apparently it's in Argentina exclusively, kind of like how the Sonoran Desert is almost all in Arizona and northern Mexico.
Yeah.
So we know they're in Argentina, although they don't say it. There's some stuff getting ready, and while Nic Cage and Tommy Lee Jones are having like a heartfelt discussion about the mission and freedom and whatever, the explosions start going off. They're under attack by people who have never aimed in their life.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, it's all they all have
Optimus.
that canopy stuff going on. Like you know something's there, you just don't know exactly where things are.
But like,
But they're
I don't
not
know,
even
the-
hitting the helicopters, which are uncovered.
yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, it looks like they're aiming at the people, and I'm like, I get what you're going for, but like, take out the helicopters, not the people.
I feel like if this was a real aerial
Maybe they
assault, it would
wanted
have
the
wiped them out.
helicopters.
Oh yeah, I mean it
They
does
wanted
pretty
to kill
much.
the people, not the helicopters, because then they could have taken over the helicopters.
Yeah, then you gotta learn how to fly an Apache.
So Buzz
Do it.
gets taken out pretty quickly. Who's Guthrie's
Buzz
partner,
is-
if no one
Buzz is
Lily's
gone.
partner.
because this leaves Guthrie alone to be the savior of somebody. We assumed it was going to be Nic Cage,
Yeah.
but it turns out it's Tommy Lee Jones.
She also is there to be a little bit of a damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I mean, no, like she does get in trouble, but she is the one who solves everything.
Yeah, but Nick does
She's-
come and save her.
Well, he comes and picks her up. He doesn't save
No,
her.
no, no. He's like,
She's on the
"Just keep
headset.
moving."
She's on the headset and she's like, "Please come save me."
Oh,
Like,
when she's running away from the helicopter. I was
Yeah.
thinking about the crash
Yeah.
and all
Yeah,
that.
no.
No,
'Cause
it's fine. I'm not
Stoker's
complaining
got
about
her.
it, but we have to make sure that Nic Cage gets a hero moment to save the girl. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's gonna be creepy when he's pressed up against her.
Yeah, because Stoller
Against her
does
will.
show up and chase
Is it
her
Stoller
down.
or Stoker?
Stoller.
Oh, my
He
bad.
does show up and
Stoller.
start chasing her down. And all of a sudden, these dudes have fucking jets too. Like Tommy Lee Jones even has a thing. He's like, "Is there a whole goddamn Air Force down here?" But yeah, they've got at least 2 of these jets. So Tommy Jones
Fast
and
movers.
Detective LaRusso end up taking out, or they get taken out by a jet. No,
Yeah,
they
I
take
forgot-
out one. They take out one of
You
the
get taken
jets.
out by Secundus.
Yeah, they take out a jet, and then Secundus shows up, tracking them down, and he doesn't kill them. He tries, of course, but he takes out their tail rotor.
He doesn't kill him because he's a kind-hearted assassin. You know, sometimes he's like, "I'm good at my job, and I don't need to do it."
He's like,
He's
I
like-
want an Apache. I can fix the tail.
He's like, "I'm also 40. I feel bad."
Me too, brother. I get it, man. One of these cartel guys jogged past me the other day backwards. I shot him. I know you can't. You're in the army, so you had to be like, "Oh, hey, good morning." Yeah, no, I fucking shot this dude. I was like, "You can outrun me, but you can't outrun my bullets." Secundus.
Secundus.
So Tommy Lee Jones and Detective LaRusso get shot down. We don't see them crash, so we didn't see them shit their pants. So they're probably not dead.
Hey, no poop, no fucking dead body.
Sean Young does go down to try to recover them, and she gets there. She's like, there was no explosions, whatever. So she lands and goes to check on him. LaRusso is fucking toast.
Yeah, he did.
He's got a
Be
bullet through
battered.
his head.
His eyeball.
And I like that she still goes and checks his pulse.
He is alive. Put a bullet in him.
Yeah, I'm like, well, his
Please.
brains are on his face, so I wouldn't bother checking his pulse, but that's just me.
Do you see the brain coming out of his eye throbbing? No, it's probably fucking dead. Like, I'm looking at his heart and it's not beating. I want to go back real quick to the helicopter fight because there's a real cute moment where Billy's like popping the helicopter just above just the R2D2 any face. She's playing peekaboo and it's fucking so cute, dude. She's like,
yeah, I'm assuming this is a real thing. Tanker Tom will probably know and he'll let us know, but like it's a pretty cool concept. Like, because they were talking about her being the scout chopper, and I was like, well, that's cool and all, but like if she's not maneuverable and fast the way that the Apache is, then she's just going in to die.
Yeah.
But it's that she can hide behind ridges and peek up over because that camera's up above, like the Google car driving around.
oh yeah, dude. It's just
Because the camera's above the rotors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also a laser to the point that it can paint a target. The Apache can be behind cover, launch one of these smart missiles that would go and knock it out. So, and I think it never came to anything, which was surprising, but it says the laser can actually be used to blind and confuse other helicopters.
That's
I'm
cool.
going to assume that that's a cut scene because they mentioned it, so it feels like it should be in the movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, these people,
she got away.
These people didn't write a lot of stuff, and it's not like the best written movie in the world. But just bringing that up, based on other stuff they've done in this, it tells me that they should. It was probably in there, but it didn't make the 85-minute version.
or they talked about it because it was the knowledge that they had for it, and they just wanted to know the things that
it's just
can
something
do.
that Dale Dye, I think his name was, the guy that's playing the colonel there. It's something that he knew. So he's like, well, we can throw that in there. It's them's facts.
It's just
or
facts.
it was a new piece of technology. They're like, hey, insert this. That's cool.
Yeah.
Let America know we got good toys.
But, yeah, so back to Tommy Lee Jones and Dead Rice.
This is fucking. So I don't know if this is real either, and I would really like to know. Because Tommy Lee Jones, so his legs are broken, he can't get out, so she's got to try to protect him, and this jet finds them.
Yeah.
He walks her through taking out this thing and putting it together and like unlatching one of it turns one of the Apache's missiles into like a shoulder-mounted missile launcher.
I want to say it was the
a la
sticker missile.
this.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, I actually wondered myself if that's real because it's like you got these munitions.
Why can't
Let's
it
use
be
them.
real?
Yeah, it's just like she pulls this thing out and has to, and I mean it's complicated, but like it
For
has
sure.
to be, right? But it's like take the little cigar box thing and plug it into this thing and
To a
twist that
coffee
and turn
can.
that and unlatch these and but like
Flip that switch.
she takes a fucking missile off of a helicopter and turns it into a shoulder-mounted missile, and it's fucking insane.
I love it.
And she does take out that jet, so
Yeah, right up the pooper.
yeah. Breaker gets hurt during so Stoller and Cage and Breaker are all having their little dog fight. I'm assuming it's still called that with helicopters.
I would assume so.
But it's really good. Like the helicopter action in this is a lot better than I expected it to be.
I was having a great time with this. There's a couple scenes early where it's Tommy Lee Jones just in like a fake cockpit and they're doing like a screen behind him. I'm like, oh man, this is going to be a pooper of a film if it's like this.
Yeah.
But like this kicks in and you just nailed it. Like this is really fucking fun combat.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
it's not. I mean, it's not Top Gun or especially Top Gun Maverick where you've actually got Tom Cruise in a fucking jet flying around because Nic Cage didn't learn how to fly a fucking Apache.
He's not insane. He's an actor. Well, he is insane.
He is
He's
insane,
not
but
Tom
he's
Cruise insane.
well, he's not a Scientologist.
There you
That we
go.
know of.
So at least there's that. But like, so it's not them in the helicopters, but just the helicopters just doing these. I mean, they're not going upside down per se, but when
They're
they're
doing
going
twisty over
vertical and turning, like it's as close as you can get to being upside down. I mean, I'm assuming if a helicopter goes all the way upside down, it's just pushing itself into the ground.
I feel
So,
like
you
this,
know.
this little scorpion thing could do it.
Well, and it
Like, it's
does.
like-
It gets close, and when they show the shots of Stoller, they make it look like he's basically upside down. But I mean, even when they're vertical and like turning, it's like your cockpit is still basically upside down. It's just that your rotors aren't directly below you. You can't go full 180 degrees.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's insane. These things are just flying up and flipping around and diving down. Like
I have a regular
It's a
at my
fun time.
bar. I have a regular at my bar that he flies with the Blackhawks. He's a helicopter guy. I'll ask him about it. I'll have him.
Yeah, like specifically,
Watch it.
it would be like the Apaches and then whatever this other one is, because like some of the Blackhawks, I think, are bigger ones.
Yeah.
They're for like carrying people, like that Blackhawk.
There were
down,
Blackhawks
right?
in this. The medical one at the end is a Blackhawk, and one of the ones at the very beginning that got blowed up is a Blackhawk.
Well, he was in the army and he was stationed in Idaho.
But that's for carrying like multiple people, though. Like, so obviously that wouldn't be able to do those maneuvers. But like, yeah, ask him, because I'm interested to know if these are. I mean, I know Apaches are attack helicopters.
Yeah.
But it's just that, I mean, we see them do these maneuvers, but they can fudge it with angles of the camera and stuff. But just, I mean, they're going like straight down, straight up, like turning at insane
That's
angles.
the way I'd like to fuck.
Clogged up, overworked.
It's very exciting to
ripped the
watch.
shirt.
There's a line coming up that's right here that cracks me up, because instead of calling him Breaker, is that his co-pilot's name?
Yeah.
Calvin.
He's like, Calvin. He's like, dude, only my mom called me Calvin. I'm your mom now, Calvin. I am your mom, Calvin.
But they do get hit.
That comes. I think
No, it
comes up
doesn't.
the same way that you think it does.
I'm your mommy. Now listen to me.
Shoot the guns for mommy. Mommy wants to fuck.
Thank you for that.
Mommy wants to
Hey.
fuck.
I want to fuck. Hi me. I'm the greatest. The greatest wants to fuck.
But Calvin does get shot when they get hit with some bullets. And they go right through and take out Calvin. So he's like, I can't shoot. I'm okay, but I can't shoot, because of course it has to be down to Nic Cage.
And now there's where you have a 3-peckered goat fucking around.
Just fucking.
Yeah.
He's as busy as a 3-picker goat.
Dude, and he does outfly this guy, and they did a good job, because I mean, we haven't watched a lot of stuff with helicopters. The only other thing I can think of is Nightmare at Noon, which was not as high octane. The helicopter stuff in that was cool, but like
Rambo 3.
Oh yeah, Rambo 3 when he plays Peekaboo.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what happens here, because Nic Cage goes off the edge of this like cliff here and drops down, and fucking Sven Thorson here just overshoots, and he's like, not as good as you thought, motherfucker, and
Boom,
just blows this
bitch.
dude out of the sky.
And
And
he
not
says,
only,
oops, you blew it.
yeah, not only does he blow him out of the sky, though, like we don't just get an exploding helicopter, we get the in cockpit shot of like these bullets tearing through this dude, and there's just blood flying. It's a split second, but you just see like holes getting ripped in this dude and blood flying everywhere, and then
It's
the helicopter
fantastic.
explosion. I think it's the first blood-filled bada boom we've had on the show.
I think
But
so.
it's true. It also steals from Top Gun, though, because if you remember the end of that movie, he does the same thing. He's like, I'm going to put on the brace and let him fly right by me.
Well, yeah,
And that's
yeah.
what he
I mean,
does here too.
that's what I was
your
saying
life?
earlier. Like this whole third act is just the end of Top Gun.
Yeah,
But it's cooler than what I expected to see in this particular movie. I just like, it's a good maneuver because it's all done in real time. It's not like they did a bunch of cuts. You see the Apache go over the edge and then like drop down and stop. Then you see this other helicopter fly out over it, and it's all in like one shot. So I mean, it's pretty fucking well choreographed. They did a good job there.
Yeah, dude, I was so surprised how much I enjoyed this movie, especially the latter half. Like as soon as they get to these Apaches, we're having a great fucking time from here on out.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Remember, what was that one movie we were watching where I was like, oh my God, this is the most boring helicopter scene.
Nightmare at Noon.
I thought about that today. I was like, oh, at least this is a fun, like this is a good helicopter scene.
Well,
Like
you
good shots.
know what'll cheer you up?
So,
Helicopter.
And maybe a little bit of this.
Woo! Actually, yeah. That fucking smile, bro.
I lost control there for a little bit, but now everything's cool.
Well, speaking of everything being cool, the fight's over because Stoller's dead. So, and I was like, well, this movie's about to wrap up real fast because it's only 85. I didn't look at the time, but I was like, I know we're about to wrap up. He calls and he's like, can I help with something? And they're like, nope, we arrested everybody. Everything's good. Come on back, land. Hey, you're back. They're going to go pick up your girlfriend and Tommy Lee Jones. Jump on that chopper. Go get them. Movie over.
The same thing. I was like, oh, he's going, then he's going to go fucking play cleanup. Like, we're going to have one final just like blow up montage of him just laying waste to these poor fucking indigenous people just trying to make a living with drugs. Well, a lot of good people down there. Gotta blow them up. Gotta do it. Run away.
They're trying to
bar,
make a
I'll tell
living
you.
off of the natural resources that were provided to them.
If they weren't supposed to do it, why did God make it?
Exactly.
Oh,
Sure, you have to do a lot of
case.
stuff to turn a coca leaf into cocaine. But I'm just saying, it was already there.
Let's not stop picking apart what is and what isn't.
I need to know how somebody discovered that. How?
I remember learning in school that the native people there would just chew on coca leaves and get energy.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
You're
along
supposed to
the
do it, you
line,
go up to-
somebody
it helps with altitude sickness.
Now, along the line, somebody learned about chemical composition and whatnot, and how to break it down into the distilled version of what gave people that little boost
and then
of
you add
happiness.
donkey
Science.
laxative to it.
Bitch.
Yeah, and then we had to bastardize it. But I mean, that's the end of the movie. They have a cute little argument about who's flying the chopper because she drove his car earlier. The end.
Yeah. The end.
The end.
So
Tight in and out.
we'll do recommendations, and we'll start with
Full
life.
recommendation, dude. I loved this movie. I thought it was awesome. It was wonderful pacing. Yeah, Nick can get a little rapey, but again, the 90s, got to have the rose-colored goggles on, right?
It's not even like rapey. It's just over the top creep.
Yeah, like pushy, super pushy.
Uh-huh. It's
But
like
no,
how I imagine Jean-Claude Van Damme is on a dance floor.
Yeah, I just I loved it. I really very much enjoyed this. And if you're like me and you love you some Cage, you get some Cage in this bitch. And then the happy Tommy Lee Jones surprise.
Yeah, that's a surprise to you only.
Not a surprise to anybody who just listened to this podcast. Oh, did we mention that we get some Tommy Lee thighs? I don't think we did. I just want to throw that in there. But
Some Tommy Lee thighs.
he is
Tommy
wearing
thighs.
shorts that are so short that I thought he was going to start hanging brain at one point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
So did
I could
I.
see both his haircuts.
I was very happy.
So, Jack, recommendations?
Full recommend, full send. Even if the beginning part was boring enough to not like, which it wasn't, it was just boring for what this is. It's such an in and out movie, and just the helicopter stunts, the helicopter pranks at the end are so fucking fun. Little peekaboo. And yeah, Tommy Lee Jones and all that and everything else you said, it's too quick to be mad at.
It doesn't need Jack's caveats, but that just makes it better. Like I was sober and I just had husband with me the whole time.
Yeah, just me.
Yeah,
And he was over on the other side of the room.
You definitely don't need the caveats, but this would have been fun because of all the little Cajuns that we get
Yeah.
here. Would have been fun to be with people.
That just
This will be on a fucking repeat for us.
it takes it from a 10 to an 11 if you have your friends and buddies with you.
Yeah, this movie goes to 11.
Yeah, I mean, so going into this, for me, I thought I was going to give it like a soft recommend because I almost recommend every Cage movie in some capacity because I remembered the half watch that we gave it while we were drinking heavily. And I just remember thinking like, this is pretty fucking boring. And it started out and I was like, yep, pretty fucking boring. But you pretty quickly get into it not being super boring. I mean, it's the pacing. Not a lot happens in the first half of the movie, or the first 2/3 of the movie. But the first 2/3 of the movie is less than an hour.
Yeah.
So you can get through it. And that last scene alone is worth it. But I think I liked it. I'm going to give it a full recommend at this point.
Yeah.
I just, I like Nic Cage more than I like Tom Cruise. I would recommend Top Gun before I would recommend Firebirds. However, I do recommend Firebirds.
Also, Top Gun has logins. This has Phil Collins.
Also,
Top Gun has Anthony Edwards.
Also-
Not a selling point.
Yes, it is.
you know what we didn't get in Top Gun?
Woo!
I've never seen
Tom Cruise is just like, I'm not wearing panties on my head. I know what touches those.
I just watched Eyes Wide Shut for the first time in like 20 plus years. Still doesn't have panties on his head. And if any
That's the
movie
time
Tom
to do
Cruise,
it.
any movie Tom Cruise was in, that or Risky Business.
Well,
There's-
because it covers his face and that's his moneymaker.
well, it's not his height.
Oh, boom.
So next week we will be continuing Made in Arizona month with our first installment of what's taking place of Durka Classic Movies because my co-hosts hate watching classic cinema. So we're replacing Durka Classic Movies with Schlock and Load.
Bitches.
So our first episode
Spread it
will
on.
be Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in Universal Soldier. Also
He's going to wear
filmed,
silk underwears on his head.
I think filmed entirely in Arizona, outside of maybe some soundstage stuff.
Sweet.
But it was filmed.
We
just watched it 2 years
didn't-
ago.
We didn't record it, huh?
No, we did not record.
I was saying, like, we just watched it.
Yeah, we watched it, but it was filmed near. It was in northern Arizona. I want to say it was near a city in Arizona that's called Baghdad. If you don't believe me, look it up.
Look it up.
I'm not doing that. I feel like that's how we got on a watch list.
Baghdad
That's
without an
sick.
H. Baghdad, which is actually worse.
Yeah, that's the guy at the supermarket that takes all the fucking bags in one trip.
I'm Baghdad. I got this.
One trip. I've got them all on my arms.
Hey,
sure, I bought 400.
Look at the marks on my arm. Those are going to be there forever, kids.
I'm going to tell you right now, moms did it before dads.
Oh, for
This-
sure. But Dad's
this
the one
guy-
who needed the credit for it.
Because they were also doing that plus carrying a car seat.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but this dad's
was
like,
that mom.
sure, I lost a pinky from losing circulation, but I got all the bags in one trip.
Was it worth it? You
Yes.
tell me.
$640 worth of groceries in 1984. So
That's a lot of groceries, dude.
That's when you just get the broomstick.
right now, I'm pretty sure that's just macaroni and cheese and eggs. But
Mind a
don't
couple pounds of raw potatoes.
don't forget to check out our Patreon at patreon.com/worstpeople. It's only $3 a month. You
Dude,
get a
you
bonus mental health episode every month.
You get dope content. Like, you get our latchkey vids.
Latchkey vids, which this month's
besides
episode.
Pop Rock, we have a couple other planned that just sound bonkers.
Yes.
Yeah. This month's episode of Latchkey Vids will be the third episode of Cop Rock, entitled Happy Mother's Day.
Ooh,
Oh.
happy Mother's Day.
I'm
Me and my
excited for this
mother.
one.
Hello, mother. Hello, father. It's your son.
And
it's
Here
your
I am
daughter.
at Cop Granada.
And our mental health episode for the month will be a listener request episode from Tanker Tom, who has been mentioned on this episode because
Hi,
military.
Tinker Tom.
He requested Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man.
And do you see how easy it is to get your way when you're a Patreon?
Yeah.
That ass about a movie. You get it.
Yeah. Here we are.
You got
You had Kermit
voted
the
over
Frog
me,
there.
Tanker Tom.
Here we are.
I suggested something else.
I had smoky stuff in my lungs.
Here we are,
guys. I went George Lucas. Thank you.
I'm moving right along.
But of course, we have to thank Evasion for our opening and closing music. So thank you guys. And don't forget, send us an email at badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. Send us requests, send us complaints, send us praise. I have a fragile ego,
Send us pictures
so I'd
of your
be better
underwears
with
on your
praise, but I'll take complaints.
I got no problem with criticism. Bring it on. I went to Catholic school.
I'm
that's-
married to that guy. I get criticism.
That's it for this week. I've been Derek.
I'm married to him.
And I'm a first class All American.
I am the greatest.
Well, I'll tell you what, soldier, you put that bottle up your butt and you do a handstand right now. This is America's boofing. Talking about full tilt boogie American boofing.